can skiing in the mountains remain economically viable, first of all?
It definitely does have an impact, and anyone that's gone to a ski resort in the springtime to see what some of those slopes look like, or the amount of work that has to happen to maintain some of the lifts and the lift stations in the summertime, and that definitely, you know, would otherwise be beautiful pasture land for grazing animals, etc. Equally, I think it has become a little bit of a focal point for the problems of climate change, where actually I feel as though the focus should be perhaps aimed somewhere else. Not to say that we're not playing our part, but I think it's a much smaller part in the resorts perhaps than a lot of areas that have much larger impact.
I think that this season probably has given everybody a little bit of a kick that they need.
This season's been quite different in terms of what weather we've had and how it's come, and you know, 1 minute it's red hot and then next minute it's -20.
So just those like 2 or 3 degree temperature differences is enough to make a huge difference.
I mean, the other thing, of course, the other thing which has made it extremely expensive is replacing natural snow with artificial snow. So you're seeing a lot of pressure on the high mountain resorts, and you're seeing the low resorts suffering enormously.
But it's sad. We very much, everyone I think who works here wants it to be a sport for all. But as the snow line slowly rises, that becomes harder and harder because the resources are fewer, and therefore the demand increases, and therefore the price goes up.
It's unrealistic to expect everybody to just stop skiing and never go again.
20 years from now, it could easily be that there are very few resorts left in Europe where you can go skiing for anything outside of, let's say, January and the middle of February. They can see that, and therefore they're trying to make as much money as possible in the time window that they've got left, which then makes the sport even more exclusive and more untenable for those who don't have a private yacht and a private plane at their disposal.
There's so much that everyone can do, and I feel that there's a lot, there's real momentum in the industry at the moment.
I think low resorts have been, you know, really hit by the weather, and I think it's down to them now really to think what the future holds for those resorts, like smaller resorts that have really struggled. And I think they're going to have to think creatively about how they carry on with their, you know, their business model, as it were. I think things might change in low resorts, i.e. they become, you know, they adapt to more, you know, different sports, whether it be mountain biking, whether it be, you know, hiking, or just promoting their resort as a place you can come and enjoy the mountains. It definitely needs to be a strategy for us to be in business and be a sustainable business. I think we've definitely got to start thinking about versatility and products that, you know, can be used in different environments and not just for skiing. And I think there's a real opportunity in that.
Does it make you think any differently about the products that you're designing and producing?
You know, renting your kit, if you don't have any kit and you're going once a year, is a no-brainer. But renting it and going skiing 3 or 4 times a year is obviously just adding to your carbon footprint, really. And again, the clothing, which is why I got into that, you know, that to me is an unnecessary contribution to global warming because of the waste and obviously the polyester that we're using. That to me is something so easy that you can change, and it's so impactful.
Ski brands have to be careful, because if, you know, you're a ski brand saying you're saving, you know, you're saving the planet, and then you're selling to skiers, and we all know skiing as a sport is really not eco-friendly, right? It's a real like fine line to tread, and I think Planks does it really well. You know, I think you've just got to be really honest about the situation and, you know, what's going on around you. It isn't great, but we're in it. Everyone wants to be in it, and this is how we need to operate as a business.
What you're seeing is all ski resorts diversifying their products to extend as far as possible throughout the year. Look at the website of any ski skiing equipment manufacturer, skis or clothing, they've all diversified. They all have, you know, mountain bike stuff and summer wear, and so everybody knows that this is coming.
They use an electric car for their transport. They ate plant-based food. You know, they did everything, and they came back and they said it's possible. And I think everybody has these choices, and I think we all just need to think, what am I going to do to reduce my impact? You know, kind of the belief that we really can turn this around.
Strange, and it sort of feels like we sort of have a slight responsibility, a huge responsibility to do something, and hopefully act as good role models in terms of looking after our environment on a small scale or on a large scale.